discovered. There will be multiple details for each host, not just IP address, host number of region. There will be other details like active status or who is using it, which department is it, where is it located in the world, and many more which network is it connected to, and many more details. So all those details will be managed in a single platform, that's called CMDB. Without it, managing all these data as Excel files or any PDF will be a hassle, and it's not easy to do all of that in Excel files and all. So they use the CMDB platform. But again, same issue. There is no integration between the one thing belongs on this platform. But they still need in the RBM platform, they have the finding, they have the asset details in the CMDB group. How will they be able to find the asset details from the findings? They need an integration. They need all the asset details to be populated into the RBM, because Canada will take the IP address and finding details, not the asset details. It won't find who is the owner of this application. So from this CMDB database, we can have an integration that puts all these details into the RBM platform. So it's like from my experience, right, from piloting multiple vulnerability management problems for different clients, I almost developed integrations for this particular module in CMDB with almost 4 to 5 different tools. So there are different requirements as well. Like each client requirements varies. Different companies manages their own way. So it's not a simple architecture they manage. They manage application details and they manage network details, and at the same time in the network systems, like they will host this application in the network system. They want details of application details as well in the findings involved. So all that will be managed using automation only. This is one of the typical example, but in cybersecurity, automation is a must needed. And we have asset management tool. This is again similar to from policy node. We will be having asset details, the end of life and end of support we discussed, right? All the additional information that we need, we get from these type of tools. And we have GRC. GRC is not a tool, it's a department. Governance with completing their yearly audits, monthly audits, and then they are the ones who are responsible to approve the risk exceptions and all. So they will verify all the findings that they want to agree, saying that if the security team says that we cannot close these findings, but we still, for now, we will just keep it away and accept the risk. And only if the GRC team accepts it, that will be approved and kept without closing the RBM platform or the vulnerability management side. So there will be no direct integrations or all the activities from the GRC team. They just have to manually do it. They have to validate every vulnerability, even though out of 1 million findings, if the team just says, we cannot close 1,000 findings. These GRC team has to go through all 1,000 findings and find why that's not possible, why we still have to risk accept them and keep it alive. So they have to manually do it. So all those activities individually, we are not just automating data flow between tools and all. We are automating manual activities from human. So it will reduce the manual stress and also if it improves the efficiency. And then the RBM platform, right? We have from the asset inventory, we have details like classifications. We know which assets are from which region, which device type, what is the operating system, etc. etc. But how will we know that in the RBM? Because in RBM we are just interested in the scan reports. Scan reports will just contain the vulnerability details, right? We don't know what kind of they are located in the world or any other kind of details. So we do manage all of that in the RBM with the automation. So consider like RBM platform is completely has an API support. Any feature in it can be manipulated or can be accessed with an API endpoint. So every feature has its own API endpoint, and we will be able to update it. Like for example, an IT team who is responsible for production services, they need to know what are the findings that they should work on and close it. The security insight, like vulnerability management service, we will prioritize the findings and we will just tag them, tag something with feature here. Patch management tool. So usually like AU-ISEA or different patch management tools and all. So with those tools, they will be able to roll updates for all the systems associated in the same domain. Patch management tool. Again, it's a different tool. The main issue why automation is completely needed by it's because of integrations between them. There is no direct integrations or there is no communication between different platforms. So we just have to do custom automation. This is one of the cases. But developing all these scripts or this is for an entire organization that have maybe 1 lakh assets. Developing it will take longer duration, but it's like we are saving almost 15 to 16 hours of it per day for almost 50 security engineers team. So that's how the impact of security will be. There are specific roles in the cyber security for security automation alone. In the security operations center, vulnerability management, pen testing, or many other departments, even including GRC, security operations in there is a specific role where they need security engineers who can code in Python, even Go or Rust. Such one goes. So, threat intelligence, why is it important, and role of threat intelligence in the daily cyber security. Okay. So, threat intelligence. Threat intelligence is a process of collecting the data, processing it, and creating the data into an insights, measures, and implementing security measures. Let's say, for example, as part of threat intelligence, we will get to understand how they are performing these activities, what are the kind of organization that they are targeting, or what are the specific servers or vulnerabilities they are targeting, how is their attack path, are they using this SQL injection, or are they using anti-malware vulnerability, or are they using zero-log vulnerability, what kind of attacks they are performing, and which hardware they are taking. So all the study comes from the threat intelligence. So I'm going to discuss key components, types of threat intelligence, and threat classification. So indicators of compromise. These are data that shows the potential attacks such as malware, signatures, IP addresses, hashes, or specific file extensions. All those are considered as indicators of compromise. Usually, right, whenever there is a threat attack being happening, first thing we will notice is the IP address from which they are sending multiple requests. From which they are sending the DDoS and performing the DDoS attacks and all. So that is one of the indicators of compromise. So we will be taking hashing measures, whether they have if they have injected any backdoors. If it backdoor is nothing but a file, right? So we will have the hash of that file. We will use that to detect if there is any similar file matching with that criteria in other systems or throughout the entire organization with our scanning that we have. So that's how indicators of compromise are used. And tactics, techniques, and procedures. What you have said regarding the MITRE Corporation that manages the CVE program. So MITRE also has a framework called MITRE framework. So that covers the almost all the tactics, techniques, and procedures. Tactic is nothing but the behavior, whether they are trying to exfiltrate the data or gaining access or all. Technique is how they are doing it, whether they are exploiting it or what they are doing. And then procedure is the actual procedure. Like first they will try to send a phishing mail, you click on it, and then they exploit a backdoor, and then they elevate to the privileges. So types of threat intelligence. Usually here we are covering just 3, but different organizations or different studies just consider more than 3. There will be different namings as well. For these concepts, the terminology doesn't stand for a single thing. So practical threat intelligence. It is nothing but the actual information. What are the CVEs that are being exploited? What is the common weakness enumeration between that? And what are the products that are being exploited? What are the vulnerabilities? And also categories, like are they just targeting the healthcare industry? Are they just targeting the IT industry or education, etc. All such information comes under the tactical information. operational intelligence comes here, understanding about the threat actor actually. What are the kind of tools they are using? What are the kind of files, the backdoors that they are using? There are very famous ransomwares, famous backdoors, and that will be used by so many threat actors. Even now, there is a service called ransomware as a service. It is managed in the backdoor. It's like if you want to attack some, you don't have to expect that everyone writes the new malware and injects it. Like how they are doing it is the operational strategy, operational threat intelligence. Okay. Strategic intelligence, as the name states, it's about the strategy, how they are actually impacting the company. What are the servers that they are doing? Are they just encrypting the data and once they pay the ransomware, whether they are just giving the decryption key, or what they are actually doing there? Whether they are actually disclosing the entire information in the dark web, or they just performing any other further attacks? All this comes under the strategic intelligence. All these threats into three categories. One is emerging threats. It's like very new. We just heard of it. We don't have much information, but we're just getting to know about it. We know that there is a particular ransomware group. They are targeting the industry. They are exploiting these kind of vulnerabilities. Only such information. But current threats are like, these are recent ones. For this, we have the complete details. Those are currently running, like Log4Shell, right? In 2021, when the Log4Shell vulnerability was disclosed, right? It was completely trending. Every software industry stopped developing applications and just started focused on closing all these Log4Shell vulnerabilities because at that time that's trending. You don't there is no difficulty in exploiting. Just threat actors should know that if it is present in your server, they can hack it. They just upload a document, they will hack it. That's how it was. It's easy. So it's considered as current threats at that time, even though it is still being exploited. But so many pass their Log4Shell modules. Persistent is resistant. Even so many companies are still using Log4Shell because of their dependencies. They might not have a long application that is still using the module. They cannot just remove the Log4Shell because it damages the functionality of the application. So it is still pending. Threat actors are targeting such organizations and such applications. So it is still running. That's what persistent threats are. These are there from a longer duration. So early risk identification. Usually whenever there is a vulnerability disclosed in a specific application type, morning when we did the NSS demo, I showed you plugins. So plugins are the rules that detects these vulnerabilities with the scanner. That it is still developed, those plugins are still developed by some developers, right, or the security engineers. Because if there is zero day, which was just disclosed, and there is an open exploit available, but the company or vendor, whoever developed that software, right, they did not release any patch yet. It's a trending one. How will we detect it? We don't have a scanner plugins yet. We just have to do it manually. And in order to find these such vulnerabilities for which we don't have much information on these scanner plugins, we need threat intel. We need what kind of vulnerabilities there, which libraries are being affected, how are the threat actors already exploiting it, what kind of exploit it is. All such intelligence is from the threat intel only. We collect this threat intel from deep dark web and all the articles. I will shortly tell you what kind of articles that we can look at. So from these articles, deep dark web hackers. So usually hackers, there are multiple portals in the deep and dark web where hackers actually chat and then they share information. So from that, there are multiple AI tools that extracts this information, processes it, and creates it into insights where we can use it. So that's where early risk identification. Once we have the basic details, there is no patch, there is no plugins. we will be able to scan it. And proactive defense. So as we have the some threat intel, we will be able to identify it and implement the proactive defense. Improved incident response. We don't know there is a vulnerability, someone hacked those systems, and now we have threat intel. Incident response is once is post valuation of the attack. So once it is done, we have threat intel, how they have the basic access, how they escalate the privileges, or how they perform the rest of the activities. We know based on threat intel. So incident response is used threat intelligence as well. So prioritize security efforts, enhance security posture, all of this is based on threat intel only. This is that even though we don't have a specific threat intelligence, companies incident response, they do what they are actually set to do. It's like every company will have their own policy. What if an attack happens? How did we carry it out? And once we have the early threat intelligence, right, it's called proactive security. Instead of doing it by we have the information and after an attack, we should do it ahead. We should implement our defenses ahead. But in order to do that, we need threat intel. Because without any information, what they are trying to target or what threat actors are trying to target and what they are trying to exploit, what will we do? What will be what kind of security measures will we implement? So we need threat intelligence for that. And same goes for the regulatory compliance as well. When it comes to compliance, it's completely related with legal claims and all. Because if a company like Amazon uses a DCA compliance for 1 month, it lost billions in revenue, and it goes to the legal cases and all. Right? So even for regulatory compliance, this is a must. Types of threat intel sources. So as I mentioned, we gather data from different articles, different deep dark web chapters and all. So some of the well-known and common threat intelligence sources like government and law enforcement, like CISA, Cyber Infrastructure and Security Agency from America, FBI, PFE Germany, ACS Australia, and many more. Even in India, we have this Cyber Emergency Response Team. So what all these organizations does is that whenever there is a vulnerability, it releases an article. It's called threat advisory. So it releases information about the specific vulnerability or about a specific ransomware group. They will include all the information that they have and share it across to all the different companies. In India, CERT is doing its own way, but in America, CISA does it in a very good way. Because in America, right, they have very strict laws that no companies should disclose any information, or even if there is a breach unknowingly in a company, it is still liable for all the information that is disclosed. So CISA will be able to sue them as well. So CISA has that capability. So from there, what are the threat advisories that we get from government law enforcement like this? Those are completely valid. And internal intelligence. So not every company, very few companies, like we are a security vendor, so we will have that. But few of the companies, very few companies will have their own intelligence team, threat intel analysts. There is a specific role as well in cybersecurity for this threat intel. It's called threat intel analyst or threat intel researcher. And external intelligence, as I said, the deep and dark web and chatter or Twitter, well-known websites, etc. And commercial threat intelligence providers. So there are companies who provide threat intelligence as a service. One of the companies that I mentioned is VirusTotal. Obviously, my organization Securant is one of the threat intelligence provider. So we have our own AI tool which crawls through the deep and dark web, collects the data, and then provides the insights for the clients who have got the tool from us. So VirusTotal is one of the company. Why I am mentioning VirusTotal is that VirusTotal has an open portal. So you can just spun VirusTotal's threat intel portal, and then you can look in it for the specific IDs, hashes, or any. If you have any ransomware group, right? Just type in ransomware group and fetch in the VirusTotal's threat intel group portal. You will get to understand who is this ransomware group, what are they doing, what kind of backdoors they are using, every kind of information. So VirusTotal is a free one, so make a note of it and just have a look at it. and Bleeping Computer, the Hacker News Security Alliance. These are three websites. Okay, these are three websites from US. So these websites are free. It's just that they post articles about all the latest threat intel. These are managed by different sponsored organizations. So whenever there is a new vulnerability in Windows or anything, we will see an article by the next day every morning in the Bleeping Computer or Hacker News and all. So you can go through all those articles. It will give you the basic information, sometimes basic, sometimes the entire data, including the indicators of compromise. You will get the hashes, ideas, etc. Everything. It will clearly explain you how threat actors are performing the activity, what kind of vulnerabilities, every detail in there. So these are one of the important sites. Weekdays like Monday to Friday, we will definitely visit all three websites. We will go through all the articles that were released so that we can validate them. Because we have the vulnerability data, like we have all the scanning data, all the asset details and all the finding details. If we know that there is some kind of finding in a specific asset, all we can do is we just have to go there and check it. So we need all this data. So these articles are one of the good articles that you can go through. Then exploits and POCs. Whenever there is a new vulnerability, right, someone will write an exploit. They will create a script with some programming languages and they will post it in the GitHub or these sites. So if you see exploit DB, traffic 7 modules, Valmon, DB, GitHub. These are these contains the exploits. Even there are personal articles everyone writes in different portals and all. You can find different exploit. I think in engineering final year we did a project here in Bern. So we did there was a vulnerability in Windows 7 at that time. So we have an exploit from the GitHub video and we exploited it and added additional security measures, and that's what we did as a project back then. Okay, let's consider the Log4j as an example. Okay, we'll just cover it fast. The TTPs and IOCs. Log4j allows the attackers to execute remote code execution in it. The IOC is suspicious traffic to unknown attack servers. We are getting suspicious traffic from an unknown IP to this particular server. That's when we will understand that there is an attack or there is a type being happening. So external threat intelligence. Vendors like Apache, this is Log4j is from Apache. So whenever it is disclosed, Apache has released an advice the next day saying that we don't have a patch, but still the vulnerability is there. So you can just disable this module, or you can implement these mitigations and stop it for now. So such advisories or articles will be released by companies. So we'll be using that when we are actually dealing with the security vulnerability. And then identify the affected products. So during the process, we will also identify the affected product. As I mentioned, what is the tool, what is the version of it, is it being linked with the different portals or different tools as well, all such information. And then when it comes to vulnerability management, we need to find in the client's environment, do we really have the server, or is our client using it or not? From a service perspective, I'm telling, even if you are a security engineer, you're in your own company, securing your own assets, not as a service, you need to know that what are the assets or in which servers we are using this Apache server. So you need to look into that. In the previous step, you have the version of it being exploited. So we need to find whether that version is being used or not. That's one of the steps. And then we have multiple reportings as well. And then so with that time during Log4j 2021, everyone released articles and everyone released threat advisories. But the thing is that all has the same information. They don't have how exactly the vulnerability is being exploited and all, but they know this is being exploited or specific for ransomware groups. One or two groups started it. But by the time it's like 1 week, we were working like day and night. We were doing additional scans. We were doing rigorous multiple scans for the same clients. we were sending multiple reports. That one almost 1 week or 10 days, it was taken for all the IT organizations. So Log4j is one of the biggest vulnerability. So at that time we used to use threat intel from different platforms as well. Like as I mentioned, enable college or vulnerability tracking tools. We will be using all of that, even virus token. There is a specific website called Shodan. So Shodan is a site that has a normal access as well as it has a paid access as well. So you can fetch for any IP address or any specific tool and find out if who is using it. It is connected to the internet, so it will fetch all the internet and it will have the records. So if you fetch who is using this specific Log4j, if it is able to detect the applications or servers that are in internet which are using it, it will list those in the Shodan. Shodan is one of the websites. So threat hunting. So with the vulnerability scanning, right, we're just scanning, getting to know what are the vulnerabilities, and with the threat intelligence, we have the details of what would be the bad or hashes or any other details. But vulnerability scanning will not detect these. In the vulnerability scanning, the scanners will detect only the vulnerabilities, not these kind of hashes or anything. So what we need is to perform threat hunting. So threat hunting is a process where security professionals go out of the box and then fetch for validate all these vulnerabilities, and then they fetch for unknown backdoors that were installed or unknown vulnerabilities or any kind of such information. It's like threat hunter will simulate the attack pattern. He will act as an attacker and without damaging anything, he or she will be testing it internally with all the information that they have. That's what threat hunting is in simple. And common threat hunting tools like CM platform. We call it simply CM. It's a security information and event management system. So this platform contains all the details, all the event logs that were detected or noted logged by the endpoint tools and all. So usually these platforms, if I start explaining it, it will be a longer topic as well, because for threat hunting there is a specific job role again. It's called threat hunter, and this is actually leading right now. And as I mentioned, CrowdStrike, Falcon, and all those are endpoint detection and response tools. All these tools are interrelated. I know many topics here are interlinked and they're just confusing. But the thing is that at the end, all are connected. And then for threat hunting, they will use the threat intel platforms, the threat intelligence in order to perform threat hunting. Once we have the backup, the hashes of backdoors or any other IP addresses or any TXT files. For example, for the Log4j, the exploit name is log4shell. So if there is a file called log4shell.php or txt or anything like that, that's the exploit. I don't know, someone developed it and gave it a name like log4shell, so it became log4shell vulnerability. So likewise, there will be multiple vulnerabilities and multiple txt files or other extensions. So we will be using the threat intel and performing threat hunting. But the reason threat hunting is a different topic and it's a different, it's an in-depth process. But as part of vulnerability management, what we do is that once we have the threat intel, right, we have the vulnerabilities data, we have asset details. So we go into the RPM platform, the vulnerability management platform, which I get these vulnerabilities or data from. That these we have the CVEs, right, the common vulnerability exposure IDs. So we use those IDs and fetch the scanning data. How many assets has this actual vulnerability? It's not like attackers have already attacked. It's a proactive security. This vulnerability is present in your system or in your network. So you need to act before someone attacking you. So that's how proactive security works. So Wazu is an open source tool. It acts from multiple activities. It is open source and completely free. You can install it. This tool can do multiple activities. We can detect. It can act as an endpoint detection tool. It can act as a vulnerability scanner. It can act as a monitoring tool as well. Since it is an open source tool, it uses multiple other libraries in it. For visualization, it uses Kibana, and it uses different tools in between it, like all the Nmap, all the open source scanners, etc. etc. I have mentioned two types of scanning: host-based scanning and agent-based scanning. So this Wazu works based on agent-based scanning. So once you have installed Wazu in your laptop, right? Yeah, you can access it in the normal browser and by a specific local IP. And once you are able to access it, you can generate an agent. So agent is nothing but a code, a short script that you can deploy in the client, any system that you wanna keep testing and then keep monitoring. So while generating the agent side, it is specific to operating system. If you are using Windows, you can generate a Windows agent. If you are using a Linux, if you want to test a Linux system, you can generate a Linux-based agent.
Zoom చేయాల్సి Ctrl++.
So once the agent has been deployed in a specific system type, you can initiate the scans from your admin system where you have the Wazu installed. So from there, once you start the scanning, this again uses the inbuilt plugins and different rules. Since this is an open source, no one will be adding additional new rules, but we can always create our own rules in it and add additional rules. So here the example that it is showing, right, it's related to the Linux system. It is showing vulnerability CVE 12.735. It is in the Vim. Vim is a editor in the Linux actually. In Linux there are few editors like Nano, Vim and all. So there is a vulnerability and it was able to detect it. So, as I said, right, Wazu also acts as a monitoring tool. It won't just detect the vulnerabilities. It monitors the events made in it. Like if you open a PowerShell or CMDB, there will be a log saying that a PowerShell has been opened in it. If someone tries to access your server with the wrong credential, so it will say that there is a authentication tried with this particular username, which is unintended. Or the user, there is no user, but still someone tried to access it with this particular user ID. Or if you open the Chrome browser, there will be a log event. So everything that you perform in those systems in which you have installed the agent, all those things will be logged. Just a second, this is one of the which can show the actual installation of it. So this is how the dashboards in the ASU looks like. We will be having all the vulnerabilities or logs details that it has detected in it. And usually in the corporate side, they don't use open source tools mostly. They will be using WASU, but it's just an additional tool they will use. They don't just rely on it. Here, as a part of the hacking tool, they have added auditing in it, but usually no company does auditing with the WASU because it's an open source. So the example that you can see here, right, it's from the Windows system. It's a log that has been processed and shown as an image. It shows what is the agent IP that tried accessing it, what was the attempt that has been made, and what kind of technique that has been used. It says brute force. So somebody in the internet tried to access this machine with a specific IP. They may have tried to access same thing with the user, but actually there is no user has been created in this machine. So it detected a log and it mentioned that it added a notification. In WASU, you can even manage notifications saying that if there is any unauthorized access being happened, we send an alert. We can configure all that. So, in default, Windows operating system has a module called sysmon. So, it's a system monitoring. So, this module, in default, in every laptop on Windows system, it will keep on logging all the events being happened in it. As I mentioned, all the PowerShell running, etc., etc. All those events. Since we have the agent deployed in the system, already agent detecting it, but it won't be able to detect everything. It will just consider all the like if you just open the Chrome browser, it will consider it as a event, but usually which is unnecessary, right? It's not any unintended action at all. So what we can do is that we can customize. We can try to use this sysmon in default Windows module, writing specific rules in it. As you can see here, this is an example where we have added, it's already done. There were a few rules added saying that whenever there is a PowerShell opening or a specific raw disk access happening, create a notification log event and upload that to the WASU main portal using the agent that we have deployed. This is the actual WASU platform. Currently, instead of installing, I'm using the Hackers module in it. the functionality where we can actually create agents in it. So under the WASI, we have agents. Since this is a traffic model, there are already two agents that are being created. So here we have the option to deploy new agent. We will be deploying any new agents right now. It is a time-consuming process. So usually we just select what kind of interface system that you are going to test, and was a server that is currently system that is local. When you are trying to test in your all the devices that you hope it will stick with your operators, so that should be fine. And then you can create a group with nothing but just a functionality in this to classify these assets. And then once you have the agent created, right, it will give you an URL using which you will be able to download the actual agent in other systems. So here, all this is for defense. We are not going to attack it, right? So we have the URL. You just install the agent in the other systems that you want to test. And since once you start the scanning, it will upload all the data into the Wazoo admin portal. We have multiple options on this. It uses Elasticsearch test in it, so that's how we will be able to send out queries. We will be able to go through all the logs. Usually, logging modules contains so much data. The files will be too high, we can't manually look into it. So we will use Elasticsearch to that. It is inbuilt in the Wazoo platform itself. So we can create notebooks for that. We can create an alert saying that if there is a specific vulnerability detected or specific incident being happened, send an alert. Either it can be you can include your mail IDs if you have a SMTP server and all. So that's how the companies do. So in the Windows system, we are using this system monitoring module to record all the log events and send it to the Wazoo, right? So in the Linux, it is very easy. Usually Linux already has the logging modules in it. So we just have to add those configuration to the Wazoo agent, and it will bring all the data into the Wazoo admin portal. Wazoo also has the API support, so you will be able to use external automation as well. Since it's a different module, I'm not going to do manual activity and all now, but you can go through this lab. It's shortly tell you how you can use TryRB to learn and all. So. Okay. Any questions till now or any question? If not, we will be discussing how you can get into cybersecurity, what kind of topics that you need to learn, where you can learn, and so many things. are actually already studying cybersecurity topics or doing practicing labs or doing something associated with security? How many of you? No one? Not even anyone from the family? Okay, so okay. You must have already had the networking subject, right? To know what are the AU-ISEA model, TCP models, what are the protocols, how VPNs and proxies work, everything. Even if you go into the software development or cloud or data or any other roles as that. Okay. So networking is one of the most important subjects. How the operating system acting between the application software and the hardware that is in the laptop. You need to understand all of that. And also practice how you can actually how the file structure works in the Linux system. How can you implement commands in it? What kind of permissions there is? What is role-based access control? What are IA rules? All such concepts that comes under the operating systems. You need to understand from the Linux as well as the Windows as well. Obviously, if you have a Mac, you can understand that Mac as well. Usually, how many of you consider Mac is the most secure or iPhone is the most secure tool? Anyone uses iPhone? Okay, so it's just a myth. It's not like iPhone is costlier and from Apple company it's the most secure. It's just a myth. Even iPhone will have a zero text, even iPhone will have a critical remote code execution vulnerabilities. Just that Apple will roll the updates as fast as they can. So nothing is secure, not even an Apple device or not even a Linux device. So once you get to understand what operating systems, how this works, and all the basic concepts and like command controls, etc., right, you will be able to start working on securing those things. And as I mentioned, the previous security automation topics, right, learn coding. Not just because the algorithms or DSAs that you subject that you have, or don't just practice the in the geeks for geeks, or learn the actual topic. Try to automate something. You might have had some projects with you, like you automate your boring stuff. Okay, you try to perform something. You try to play with different cybersecurity tools. Try to build an integration between those tools. That's how you will get actual working with it, not just by solving the lead code questions and all. Yeah, those are actually important when you're going to software development because that's what they will test you against in the interviews. But still, if you are able to manipulate the actual requirements, right, that's a different thing. For example, when an organization doesn't ask, it doesn't have a coding task, it doesn't say you need to solve this in 30 minutes. They give you a task. They will tell you 24 hours of time, and you can use like whatever you can. You can use ChatGPT or you can use any AI or anything, but they will put a restriction saying that you cannot use a specific library. All they are testing is whether you can actually solve an issue or not, whether you were able to achieve the script, achieve the solution with the Python or whatever the language that you prefer, it can be Java or anything. So once you understand the basics, try to automate few projects, work on few internal, few your own projects and all. And also obviously the topics like encryption, how it works, hashing, asymmetric and symmetric encryptions, different symmetric, different algorithms that you have in the encryption and hashing and all. Understand the concepts like authentication and access control, threat modeling and security policies and best practices. So all these concepts, once you start working and start learning the basics, right, only then you will be able to get into the actual pen testing rules and all. If you're trying to mostly discuss the example, right, SQL injection. If we don't know SQL, we won't be able to perform the SQL injection, right? And if we have the basics of SQL, if we know that, we will be able to perform the SQL injection normally. And if you know the HTML, you will understand how an application works. If you know the networking, you will understand how the requests are being sent to the server and how it is responding. What are the status codes, whether we are getting 400 for not found or 200 status or whatever the rest status codes are. So all these concepts are very crucial, and These are the basics. I just listed a few, but you need to consider all of these topics. So where to start learning? So usually in the subjects that you have in engineering, you can cover only creative topics, but in the online, there are too many portals, too many sites. So consider a few of the online platforms. These are the simple and best. Like try happening, hack the box and YouTube plus you can. So these are the portals where you can actually learn the theory and also implement the practical. For example, as I shown the try happening, right? I'm just put it up. So this is one of the room in the in challenge in this TryHackMe website where you can learn the basic vulnerabilities in it. So AU-ISEA is just a vulnerable application that was developed as an open source. So learners can try different payloads on it and test it themselves. So because I have a tracking, I don't have to configure all the tools or install the application and for learning. We just can start the machine itself here. It will create a virtual machine. It will install the OS Juice Shop application in it, and then you can start learning from here itself. So usually OS Juice Shop has so many vulnerabilities in it. You can configure the levels in it. It can be easy level, difficulty, or even harder. You can configure the level, and then you can try different payloads and play with the vulnerabilities and test your knowledge. So in this particular challenge here in the tracking, we have injection vulnerabilities, broken authentication, sensitive data exposure, broken access control, which is nothing but authentication associated issue, and then the cross-site scripting. So another best thing with this particular website, right? You can just start an attack box here. What it does is that it creates it instantly starts an Kali Linux virtual machine, and it gives you the access in the same browser site. It has all the tools that are that you need already installed in it, and it's like just a spun up virtual machine. So we have a login portal in this particular website. As you know, this is an vulnerable application. We will be able to perform SQL injection on it. Usually, mostly the passwords are now transferred to the server side by the normal HTTP request, and once it processes it, will send an SQL request into it. Usually, passwords are never stored in the clear text format. It will be hashed with a specific algorithm at the server side, and then it will be stored in the hashed format only. Whenever you enter a password, it will get hashed, go into the server, cross-compare with the server password that you have actually configured when you create an account, cross-compare it. If it is equal, only then you will get an access. Okay. Standard directory. CEH also has a practical exam where you actually have to perform the testing and write a report, professional cybersecurity testing report, and submit it. They will validate. It's like the exam will be 24 hours, and someone will be monitoring you through your webcam. You have to test all different environments that they provide in the 24 hours.
So what is the cost of certification?
This cost around 35,000.
35,000.
Yeah, but if you have the certification, right, You don't even have to explain that you know cybersecurity. This clearly proves that you know cybersecurity. You just add this to your resume and submit it. If for a security intern role, you will definitely get the interview because that's the value of these certifications. It proves that you know cybersecurity already. Because it's just a theoretical exam, there will be a practical exam called CH practical. It's a professional version. So that's really once you get into the actual cybersecurity role, then you can learn it. CompTIA Security Plus, EJPT from Elite Security and PGMT, Practical Junior, tested from TCM Security. These are also
Is
interactive.
self-study okay for CEH or
Yeah, okay, ma'am.
have to
There
join
will
some
be
institute?
official materials and book as well.
They send the material
No, we have to buy it.
other than 35.
Yeah, it's not a new exam, so there are many books already available in the website, so you can just download it, you don't have to buy it.
PDFs are available.
Sorry?
PDFs are available.
Yeah, PDFs, books and are available, different versions as well. It's just a basic concept, that's why everything is available. But when it comes to EJPT and all, right? So EJPT is from the Elite Security. This is completely for penetration testing. Junior pen tester, the role. So if you buy the exam voucher, right? Yeah, it's $199. So if you buy the voucher, it will give you the 3 months access for the learning as well. So it will have the all the theory video classes in it. It will have the labs in it. So you can learn 3 months for that and write an exam. The exam is also again 24 hours, the practical exam. All the cybersecurity certifications, most of them are practical. Only few like CH introductory one or theoretical exams, like just MCQs. And then hacker capabilities. So usually, right, I think when we were in the college, like during 2021-22, during Corona, there were multiple events like this happening through online. I remember connecting all those events and all. We used to organize and we used to support it. Then we got a chance to join the faculty development programs as well. We get to learn these topics from different professionals that matter about. So attending such conferences and going to these seminars and all will definitely give an edge. You will get to meet new people, you will get to make new connections with people, you will know new concepts, and you can even reach out to them over the LinkedIn, ask them for guidance. So make sure you guys attend the events. Don't just register and stop it, just go, attend it, take a short notes, and then after the event, go through different topics that were discussed and reach out the connections that you made over the LinkedIn. Get better understanding on these topics and ask them how you can actually apply to the different jobs or how actually a specific thing works. So in the security thing, we call it CDF. CDF is Capture the Flag Challenge. So previously, when in the traffic measure, right, we were able to perform the skill injection and there is a key we got and we have submitted it. That's a flag. So there will be CDF challenges that will be organized by communities like Null, as you mentioned, right? Null sites, OS chapters, etc. These are all community meetups. Null is one of the biggest cybersecurity event that happens in Goa every year. All over the world, security researchers comes from all over the world and they discuss different topics, different new technologies, different new methodologies that are being used, all such things. So attend such conferences, and then at the same time in such conferences, the Capture the Flag event will be there. It's like typically 24-hour challenge. You can have your own team that will give you a specific application or a specific IP address. You need to work on it, try to hack it, and lead the challenge. Obviously, every event has their own prizes and all, but obviously it's for learning. You are able to compete with different teams. It's like a hackathon, but in security we call it Capture the Flag event. Try to participate in such events. Even there are online events as well. So participate in those. Join the LinkedIn communities and online communities, like as I mentioned, NullCon. There is a B-Sides So research is one of the community that has different meetups. It has meetup in Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, etc. etc. In every month there will be one meetup all over India. Try to attend one event. All these are paid, but it will be worth it really. So just try to attend one of such events. Get to make connections, understand the new technology, and participate in the CDF challenges. So certifications in depth, right? So usually in security we have two things: attacking team, which is red team; defense team, which is blue team. So as a vulnerability management specialist or threat intel specialist, we are from the defense side. So we are a blue team analyst. These are professional level certifications. Usually, the immediate joiners into cybersecurity cannot directly write all these, attempt all these certifications. Some of the certifications need experience as well. But when it comes to blue team, right, you need to learn about the defense. All the topics, all the different tools that you need, like firewalls, or vulnerability management tools, or CM, XDR, MDR platforms, etc. etc. So some of the topmost certifications for the blue team, right? Those are CompTIA Security Plus, and then EC Council Security Analyst, and SSCB, CASSP, etc. SSCB is System Security Certified Professional, CASSP is Certified Information System Security Professional. Out of these blue team certifications, CompTIA Security Plus, CISA Plus, ECSA, all these you can prepare well and attempt these certifications. These are professional level certifications, even better than the EC Council, which is the CH. These are professional level. CASSP is very hard. It takes at least 6 months to 1 year to prepare for that. It is very costly and it's very high value certification. Even if you write the exam and pass it, they won't give you the certificate because you don't have the experience. There is a specific limitation in it. You need to have at least 3 years of security experience. Only then you will be considered as certified information system security professional. So these are expert level certifications, like managers. By the stage you reach manager designation in your jobs and all, you will be having these certifications. So parallel when you are working, we parallel have to study and then write certifications and achieve them. Every certification will have its own expiry because every day technology is getting changed. Features will be modified in the platforms, new vulnerabilities will be discovered, right? So all the certifications will have validity. CH will have 1 year validity. But there is another thing called renewal. Every year, once you perform certain tasks in their portal or renew the certification, you can renew it. This is for blue team. And for the red team, so red team are the pen testers who actually simulates. They find vulnerabilities, they act as an attacker and then uses different tactics and tools actually find the vulnerabilities. So that's why we have the CH, EJPT, GASE pen tester, and the biggest hyped certification, OSCP, Offensive Security Certified Professional. So OSCP is one of the certification that has a highest value in the red team. So if you are able to get this certification, it showcases your knowledge in the red team, because the exam itself lasts for 7 days. You will have 2 days approximately. There will be multiple levels of tasks, difficulty, easy, and then very hard. You need to perform all those labs. A person will be monitoring you while performing all those, and then you will have 5 days to write a report for all the findings that you have detected. This is completely pen testing side. So once you detect, you need to make sure you have screenshots and all. 5 days for reporting, and after reporting, you need to submit the report. And if it's valid, depending on the score, if you get at least 85 out of 100, you will get the certification. Sometimes there are companies who even simple say, if you have a USCP certification, you have a job, because that clearly proves it. There is no way a practical exam like this can be done in a Hadoop and all. Like there is no one can manipulate these exams and get this certification. It's a complete practical, one will be monitoring. So OSCP is super hard, but costly as well, like almost 1.5 lakhs. That's why only professionals do that once you get into the job. OSCP is similar certification, but say with a different level. It's for the creation of exploits and all. That's for the team. That's why, as in the before slide, you start with the usability or CEH. Once you have the once you have the better experience, once you learn the different topics, different terminologies involved, you start working on the professional certifications. You do from CompTIA Security Plus, CISA Plus. But in every organization, right, they assume that the security guys knows both the things, how to defend it and how to attack it. Even though it's not a specialization, they assume that you know all the security topics. So as a defense analyst from the vulnerability management, right, we do know how to secure it. At the same time, we are aware of how to attack it, how to exploit the vulnerabilities and all. But our expertise depends on the defense side only. And certification in the cloud, right? So almost all these certifications gives you the technical knowledge, like overall blue team and red team. But when it comes to cloud platforms has their own certifications as well. For Google Cloud, we have the Google Cloud Certified Security Engineer, which I have it. And then we have the AWS Security Specialty, and then Azure has its own Azure Security Engineer. And then Google Cloud Security Essentials from GAC, and then we have CCSP. So if you see the SSCP, CASSP, and CCSP, these are all from the organization called ISC Square. So this is a well-known organization that manages these certifications, and these are very high-value certifications. CCSP is theoretical, but it covers all the basic knowledge and concepts behind the cloud. If you have the CCSP certification, that means you have the knowledge of securing any cloud, not just Google Cloud or AWS Cloud. You know the basics, you have the actual knowledge and you know the policies and all, so you can work as a security engineer, cloud security engineer for any cloud. So that's what CCSP is for. And out of all these, right, if you are really interested in cloud security, all these three, AWS, Google Cloud, and Azure, has their own advantages and disadvantages from the certification perspective. For example, if you want, you guys are the student development club here, right? I don't know, you have the student development club DSC. So through DSC, you can get the GCP learning sessions. You will get the Google Cloud credits. You will be able to access it, and using those credits, you can get the exam courses as well. So I think in 2020, we started the DSC in this college. We have a club here called Tech Hub. We formed that at that time, and then we brought DSC to our juniors, and then we started bringing all these Google Cloud campaigns here. So Google Cloud offers different free learning resources to the students. You can sign up, you will get a free credits in it, you will learn, you can configure free virtual machines, you can perform different activities and learn. AWS Cloud is complete corporate, you need paid only to access it. So it will be complete corporate only. But Azure is the most better one for you to learn, because all the Azure resources are available in internet. It's like the Azure website itself has all the training sessions. If you see, there will be a portal called Azure Training Days. Just search for it. There will be a fundamentals training happening in a specific date. You just register for it, and then they will. It will be 2 day sessions, like at least 3-hour sessions for 2 days, and then once you attend both the sessions and get better understanding, they will explain about all the basics. Because you have attended both the sessions, they will give you the exam voucher as well. So you can attend the exam for Azure Fundamentals, which is called as AC900. That's the fundamentals. So Azure is completely user-friendly. That's what better for the students to learn, because considering the costs and all. Even Azure is 500, right? From just casual and telling, because of the cost perspective. Google Cloud costs you around $200. AWS costs you $200 for certification, but Azure just cost you 3,600. $200 is almost to 18,000, 19,000 inclusive tax. This is just 3,600. That's because in India the cost is very less, and we have so many companies using Azure cloud. Once you do AZ 500, review of the fundamentals, then you will give the certification AZ 500. That shows that you have the capability and you have the knowledge of securing the Azure cloud environment. What else you need to get shortlisted in interviews? Learn all these topics, get understanding of the cloud platforms, attend these exams, get certifications. That's what shortlists you for the interviews. Finally, different job roles. There are no specific count or list of jobs in cybersecurity. There will be different roles. So, for example, the common role is security analyst, like us. But we will be doing multiple things. We will do vulnerability management, we will do red teaming, we will do consultation with the client, we will directly deal with them. We write code, we develop integrations. So we have too much. It's like we will do too many activities. But penetration tester, the job role for the pen tester is solely for finding vulnerabilities. Is for pen testing alone. Incident response is incident responders. If there is an attack, incident responders are the ones who are responsible for managing all it once the attack has been performed. They are the ones who needs to isolate the systems, who needs to find what happened exactly, and they are create the reports, etc. Cloud security specialist, as I mentioned, completely responsible for securing the cloud environments. Cybersecurity consultant. So cybersecurity consultant is a little bit different. You have the if you became a cybersecurity consultant, you have the knowledge of security. At the same time, you will get to deal directly with the clients. So you will directly deal with the clients, understand the requirements. You will explain them what the vulnerability is, what the attack happened, how they need to improve their security, what are the better strategies, like we do. So as we also, I as a security analyst directly deal with CISOs of different organizations. We have weekly meetings. We will help them in better strategizing these things, as a discovery or scanning or everything. So consultants are they are not managers, but they manage everything. All the security interns, like penetration testers and all, right? They will all of them are managed by the consultant. Because consultant is the one who knows what the client is expecting or what the client wants. So that's a different role for cybersecurity consultant. Network security in there. So these are the guys who are responsible for managing and securing the network devices like routers, switches or servers, everything. Chief Information Security Officer, the head of the security department in any organization. Every security engineer and IT team reports to this particular CISO. He is the sole responsible person for the entire security in an organization. Malware analyst. Malware analyst is completely in-depth thing. So usually they have a separate setup. They will analyze different malware samples that they got from the internet. They will get these samples on the deep dark web. They will analyze these malwares. These are the guys who prepare the threat intel, because they got the malware, they will dissect it, they will verify how this malware is actually spreading, what kind of techniques it is using, what are the tactics being implemented. All these things will be done by malware analyst. No one can become a malware analyst as a fresher. So once you get into cybersecurity, you will work under different category, network security or pen testing or anything. Once you have the better experience, you will slowly start learning malware analysis and all, and then become a malware analyst. There will be so much to learn when it comes to malware analysis. Application security engineer. This is one of the highest required job right now, because every company is just developing it. But as I mentioned, in secure coding and all, these are the guys who are responsible to test these applications developed by hundreds of developers or something like that. So they use all the methods, including the vulnerability management. They use the SAST scanners, as I shown in the morning. They use the manual processes. They will validate the pen testing report. They will do the pen testing themselves. So this for this role, usually everyone expects that the security engineer knows how to develop as well. Because if you know how to develop it, you will definitely know how to break it. So, security engineers first learns the web development either with the framework or either with the React.js or something else. Once you have the better understanding, you will be able to break it, just as an SQL injection vulnerability. Because the developer did not implement any input validation, we were able to attack it. So, if you say for this application security impact, but in the company and they are developing it right, it's a single application. Nowadays, the architecture is microservices architecture, like Netflix. Netflix is not a single application; it has microservices inbuilt in it. Like every feature that you see is a separate service. Like if you click on movies, that's a separate microservice. If you click on the search button, it's a microservice. It's called microservice architecture. So all these different architecture, the system design, everything we should learn if we want to become the application security engineer. And then finally, the cybersecurity triangle or executor. You can exclude this because once you become a security practitioner, you can leave the triangle. So, any questions? Like you can ask any questions. Do you have any doubts on the topics that we discussed, or any specific things like you want how you can learn a specific role, topic, or how you can enter into cybersecurity? Okay, I will tell you one thing. During our campus placements in here, right? It was during the corona, so almost 1.5 years we were at home only. Yeah, obviously the campus placements were happening, like Wipro, Infosys, and few more companies are coming here. But as ma'am said in the morning, right, I was completely confident, overconfident maybe. It's like I was preparing cybersecurity. I was doing work on, I was learning different topics, and also I just wanted to go in the cybersecurity job only. I don't want to go into software development and later commit it. So I tried so many jobs. I applied almost 70, 80 applications, and then I got interviews, and then I got the job. It took almost 3 months. By the time I got the job, few of my colleagues, friends already were doing job from 2 or 3 months. So if you are really want to get into cybersecurity, right, you just learn it. At the end, you will get it by approaching different companies and all. You just have to improve your, just be curious how it works, how can we break it, or how can we secure it. Just try to learn different new concepts every day. Just try to do the practical knowledge. So in this triangle prototype, there is a learning roadmap. You can just refer to this as a learning roadmap easily. You need to learn the computer science basics. You need to learn the pre-security, which tells you about the how internet works, how protocol works, all such things in this pre-security part. And then cybersecurity foundations. And then comes the actual things: security analyst, security engineer, and penetration tester. So different pathways. So if you SOC is considered security operations center. So every company that has the servers and all, they will have an operations center. So if this is separate, they will be using so many tools. So you can learn all this in a sequence. For penetration testing, it's very complex method. You don't use hundreds of application tools, use different methodologies. So there are multiple parts in it. So learn in sequence. You won't be able to complete all this, but start from the start, from the basics. Once you start doing it, you will improve your curiosity. You will maybe you can get addicted to it as well, like me. But it will be good. Yeah, this will clearly improve your confidence in cybersecurity once you start doing practical knowledge, not just theoretical. We study the textbooks or notes, we write the exams, we just complete it. But when you do the actual practical things, even though it's just a simulated one, it improves your curiosity. Just try to do this maths and all. This try hacking hack the box and let's define the 3 portals that has free rooms as well. So this is one of the free room. So after going home, you can try it. The OS tab is a free room. After going home, just try it today or tomorrow, and then try the rest of the vulnerabilities. We just solved one vulnerability, right? Try the other ones, how you can do it. Learn how the vulnerability can be exploited and all. Any questions? No questions? Okay. Okay, go with this one. So we have 20 questions here. We will give you 10 minutes. You can scan the QR code and get it ready. Once we reach the time, we will enable it. And then whoever gets the highest score, I will award the Trackmiss 1 month premium subscription. Let's see how many can get that. We just open it, we did not enable it. Once everyone opens it, we will enable it.
Lights on
QR. QR. Accept QR.